Apple, one of the largest companies of our time, and one of the most influential, started in 1976 by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak with the release of the Apple I, not the first personal computer, but the first to make an impact. Then, with the introduction of the Apple II in April of 1977, Apple had grown to new heights and started on its journey to the company it is today. Now, these computers are very rare, some valued at over $100,000, but we have had the opportunity to speak with someone who has owned one of these very important pieces of history.
This evening, we have an opportunity to speak with Tyler Bawumani, an original owner of an Apple II computer. So Tyler, what can you tell us about your first computer?
Well, I bought my first computer in 1977, and it was the Apple II, and it cost me over $1,000, but it was worth every penny. Now, you certainly couldn't do much back then, not as much as these fancy new ones with their fancy touch screens and such.
So what could you do with them?
Well, they had these two disk drives, and you would open them up, and you get your disks, and you slide them in. And these were how you loaded up your programs. You know, and these programs would load up on the screen, nice and slow. Which they did have some color back then, but not as much as they do now. Anyways, yeah, the menu for your program would load up on screen. And then you control it with the buttons on your keypad.
Interesting. What type of programs did you have?
Well, there wasn't much back then, but I do remember getting this one, and it had some games on it. And once a week, me and my family, we'd all get together, and we'd all play this one game called Bug Attack, and we'd all compete to see who could get the highest score. We had so much fun with the computer back then.
So your children used it as well?
Oh yes, my son, he understood that computer a lot better than I did. And I knew a lot of fancy thingamajigs about it, like a hard drive and RAM and such. And nowadays, he's got this big company that makes computers for people. Makes a lot of money.
Do you use computers at home today?
Oh yes, like for Christmas, I got this fancy iPad, right? And I can't figure out it for the life of me. But my grandsons sure know how to use it. Look at them, they're such sweet boys. Anyways, computers, they're everywhere nowadays. Like, just the other day, I was going to the movies, right? And I was trying to get me a drink, but instead of the machine where you just stick your cup in to fill up your drink, they had this big machine with a fancy touch screen, and you had to find your drink on the order thing. Well, boy, I don't think anybody in 1977 thought that everybody was going to be using computers nowadays.
So what other ways do you use computers?
Well, this Christmas, I tried online shopping for the first time. And I tried this thing called Express Delivery. And I ordered my package. And I ordered it, and the next day the mailman comes to the door with my package. I'm like, what? Back in my day, if you wanted to buy something, you had to go up to the store and get it. I remember one time I was 17 and I didn't have a car. And it was Christmas Eve and it was a snowstorm outside. But I forgot to get my mom a present. So I walked 5 miles to the store, uphill both ways in a snowstorm, just to get her a present. It's not just easy like a few clicks nowadays. But I guess that's one way computers have improved our lives today.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us today, Tyler.
Yes, thank you very much.